Hi Cliff fans and welcome to another one of my Cliff Richard album reviews, and today I'm going to review Cliff Richard and the Shadows 1968 album, established 1958. And yeah, this was to celebrate 10 years of making music together, and it didn't really do that well. It only got to number 30 in the charts, and it was just before the Shadows um, broke up in 1968. So it's kind of bittersweet album. The album only got to number 30 in the chart, so it wasn't a big success. Um, One single release from the album, which was called "Don't Forget to Catch Me," is the first song on the album. It's probably my favorite song on the album. Yeah, it was released as a single and only reached number 21 and only lasted 4 weeks on the charts, which is disappointing because it's such a beautiful song. Cliff surprised everybody by singing it in the Boldest Brass Tour back in 2010, which was fantastic. I have to say that the Shadows songs on this album are not the best Shadows songs I've ever heard, and I kind of dismissed all the Shadows stuff and only played the Cliff stuff when I was younger. I had this album when I was younger, and I only ever played the Cliff stuff and just skipped the Shadows stuff. But listening to it these days, some of the Shadows tunes on it are not too bad. I still would prefer it if all the songs had been just Cliff and the Shadows with Cliff on lead vocals. But anyway, a song two is a Shadow song. It's called "Voyage to the Bottom of the Bat," which, yeah, I said is a song I kind of dismissed when I was younger. It's actually a very fun track. I really like it now. Not the Way That Love Should Be is next. It was written by Hank Marvin and Brian Bennett, and it's just another great track on the album. This album is very underrated. There's some really great tracks. Followed by a ballad by The Shadows called "Poem." Um, the Hank Marvin song is next, which Cliff sings, "The Dreams I Dream." Absolutely beautiful song, written by Hank Marvin for Cliff. Followed by "The Average Life in the Daily of a Daily Mail," which is a Shadows vocal track, which I probably would have preferred Cliff to sing. But it's another fun track. I really like it. I think Hank sings lead vocals on that one, and probably the funnest track on the album is written by all Shadows: Hank, Bruce, Brian, and John. "Somewhere by the Sea." It's probably my favorite song on the album years ago. It's a really fun track. Followed by "Banana Man," which is another instrumental by The Shadows. The next song is a song written by John Rostel for Cliff to sing, and it was called "Girl on the Bus," which is a really underrated Cliff song. That's a beautiful song, really good song, and I recommend you go and listen to that one then if you haven't heard it, because it's kind of like one of them hidden gems. And the next song by The Shadows I have no recollection of. The Magical Mrs. Clamps. That's gone over my head. I can't even think how that song goes. But I do know the next song, sung by Cliff again, written by John Russell again, which is called "Ooh La La," which is a really fun track. It's probably my second favourite song on the album after "Don't Forget to Catch Me." Probably my favourite Shadows song on the album is next, and it's called Here I Go Again. So that's probably my favourite Shadows ones on the album that doesn't feature Cliff. Followed by another Cliff song written by Hank and Bruce, "What's Behind the Eyes of Mary," which is beautiful, lovely acoustic guitar on that one, and it finishes with an instrumental by The Shadows, "Maggie Samba." So yeah, overall, I probably only like about 50% of the songs on this album. I would have preferred the whole album to be Cliff and The Shadows, um, with all the songs sung by Cliff and The Shadows writing and playing in the background. But how to rate this album? I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. I do love all, as I say, 50% of the songs, and I really love 50% of the songs, especially "Ooh La La" and "Somewhere by the Sea" and Don't Forget to Catch Me. Three absolutely crackers, Cliff in the Shadows classics. Absolutely love it. So it's only a 6 out of 10 for me on this one, but I'd love to get your thoughts in the section below on Established 1958.